Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to Bad Deck Monday, the first edition of Bad Deck Monday with the brand new set XY Primal Clash, and we should have a pretty fun deck for you today. Now, just a year or two ago, you would have looked at this and said, what are you doing? This is not a Bad Deck Monday deck, this is one of the best decks in the format, but oh, how times have changed, folks. Today we're going to look at a deck that is a shell of itself, pun totally intended, Blastoise Keldeo. So Blastoise has this ability, Deluge, allows you to attach as many water energy as you like every turn. So you break the rule of only being able to attach one energy card per turn, just rain down as much as you want. And our goal is going to be to get out Blastoise and power up Keldeo EX with that rush-in ability, but more importantly, the Secret Sword attack 50 plus 20 for each water energy attached to Keldeo EX. Okay, so you know the strategy. It's very simple. Get Blastoise out, power up Keldeo, do lots of damage. That is it in a nutshell. But, you know, Seismitoad EX came out, stopped Stage 2 decks from being functional, shuts off the rare candy. Tropical Beach rotated out. Just so difficult to use Blastoise effectively. But what about this brand new card we got? Archie's, so man, I can't say this. Archie's Ace in the Hole. One of the weirdest cards to be named ever in the history of the Pokemon TCG. Archie's Ace in the Hole and Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Not sure where they came up with these names, but anyway, you can only play it when it's the last card in your hand, so that makes it extremely difficult to use. You'd be surprised how difficult it is to get your hand down to just this card. It's just, gosh, I tried so hard to do it, and it just doesn't happen very often, but if you do manage to do that, you can take a water Pokemon from your discard pile, put it onto your bench, and then draw 5 cards. Now notice, it just says water Pokemon. It does not have to be a basic Pokemon. It can be any water Pokemon, which means we can get Blastoise directly into play with the use of a supporter card. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then you get to draw 5 cards. Otherwise, it would be absolutely unplayable because you would have 0 cards. But drawing 5, that's fine. Okay, so the goal here is to try to use Archie's Ace in the Hole to get Blastoise out. Whew, let me tell you, this is a challenge. Okay. So, we really need to build our entire deck around using Archie's Ace in the Hole. So first off, we're going to be running 4 Blastoise. No Squirtle, no Wartortle, none of that, just 4 Blastoise. Why 4? We need to draw it early on so we can discard it with something like Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards, get the Blastoise in the discard, use the Archie's Ace in the Hole. Okay? Not only Ultra Ball, we can also use Computer Search to do that. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Alright? Or you can use Professor Juniper to do that. Discard your hand and draw 7, then you have to wait a turn to play Archie's Ace in the Hole, but hey, it's not always perfect in the Pokemon TCG. So, okay, we have Ultra Ball, Computer Search, and Juniper to discard the Blastoise, then Archie needs to bring it back. We're also going to be running 4 VS Seeker just so we can reuse our good supporters over and over. But beyond that stuff, we're also going to be running 4 Maintenance! What? Oh my goodness, I never thought in my life I would be using this card, but yeah. Maintenance is one of the only reliable ways to bring your hand size down. And let me tell you, it pains me to use it, but I guess it works. Right? You shuffle in 2 cards and you draw a card. So you play a Maintenance, you shuffle in 2 cards, and then you draw 1. So it's effectively getting rid of 2 cards in your hand and then you draw a new one. Now the biggest downside of Maintenance is that you draw a card. So you don't know what that card will be. You don't know if you can play that new card. But we need to be running things to lower our hand size. So Maintenance makes the cut. Okay, we're also going to be running 4 Roller Skates. This might seem counterintuitive, but we want to have an explosive deck here. We want to have item-based draw so that we can draw into, Ultra Ball to discard Blastoise, use the Archie, and so on and so forth. I was tempted to use Acro Bike as well. Look at the top 2 cards, pick one, discard the other. I found it to be extremely unreliable. You're only looking at the top 2 cards of your deck. The odds that you're going to discard a Blastoise on the top 2, not very good. and most of the time you end up discarding something really good. So Acro Bike, tried it out, didn't work. We're going with the Skate instead of the Bike. Okay. Now we do have all sorts of other stuff in here, but I just want to give the intention it deserves. How difficult it is to use Archie's Ace in the hole. I thought this card was going to be good, but man, you have to build your whole deck around it, and even when you do, it doesn't work extremely well. So, needed to point out, you need the maintenance, the roller skates, the 4 Blastoise, you need the computer search, the Ultra Balls, all of this just to use Archie's Ace in the hole. And another card that's very important in here is Jirachi EX, which turns your Ultra Ball into an Archie's Ace in the hole with Stellar Guidance. This is a crucial card for any deck that wants to be running Ace in the hole or Maxie's Hidden Ball trick. Being able to Ultra Ball, discard the Pokemon you want to get back, and then Stellar Guidance for the Jirachi, or Ultra Ball for the Jirachi to Stellar Guidance for the supporter. Alright, you get it. But it is super, super important. Okay, from there, it's a relatively standard Blastoise deck. It's hard to say that when you have all this crazy nonsense going on, but we are going to be playing a Dive Ball, which allows you to search for a water Pokemon. Normally, I'd be running more of these if this was just like a dedicated Blastoise deck, but since we're doing the Archie's Ace in the hole, we need 4 Ultra Ball instead. But Dive Ball is just really good, and it's really good if you have it, and then you have like an Ultra Ball to discard Blastoise. So Dive Ball, I feel like that is worth playing in here. Professor's Letter, incredible with Blastoise, just allows you to search out 2 energy and attach them. We have 3 Superior Energy Retrieval. Of course, this is the backbone of any Blastoise deck, allows you to regain your energy cards from the discard pile. Now, why not 4? Number 1, it's just tough to find space for 4. And number 2, it is a horrible card to have in your hand in the early going. When you want to use Archie, it's not a card you can really play. So, only 3. I could see going up to 4, but we're just going to stick at 3 for this video. We only have 1 N in here. Why? Because we have too many supporters. We have roller skates as draw. We have Archie's Ace in the hole. We need to be using that. And you're not going to use it too often, but if you need to, you have 4 VS Seeker to bring it back out. Same goes for Lysander, just 1, but we can always get them back with VS Seeker. Garbodor could be a problem, so I'm going to go with Zero Sick in this deck. You might go Startling Megaphone as well, but Zero Sick has the advantage of being able to be played through Seismitoad's Quaking Punch, so I'll give it a shot, why not? And you can always VS Seeker for Zero Sick, if you have it, if you have to discard it immediately. I'm not too sure if that's worth it, but oh well. I wanted some way to remove a tool, and that seemed like a decent way to do it. Okay. We do have some other Pokemon in here as well. We have the Execute. I love this little guy for propagation. We got a lot of stuff that's doing discarding, and this just helps you get some better discards. It makes your hand more manageable when you need to play an Ultra Ball, a Computer Search, a Superior Energy Retrieval, all in the same turn. Propagation allows you to take him out of the discard pile. His only function in life is to be discarded, but he does it very well. In fact, he does it so well that we do it to him over and over. Alright, other Pokemon we have in here, I need more basics since we don't run Squirtle, so I just need basics in general. So I figured why not throw some non-EX Pokemon in here. 2 Suicune with the Safeguard ability. Of course, you got the Aurora Beam as well. And then 2 Kyurem. We don't really... I don't know, this just seemed like another good water Pokemon. 130 HP could buy you some time. Frost Spear and Blizzard Burn. Not too bad. And then we're also going to be playing 1 Mewtwo EX. Just seems like a nice Pokemon to splash in here. And 12 Water Energy. We need a lot to power up Secret Sword. That's all we're doing. This is not a Black Kyurem deck. This is Blastoise and Keldeo. So this is an interesting deck to build. Very complicated, actually, to try to put this together. So I could be doing this wrong. Please let me know if you think you can build it better. That's certainly a possibility. I haven't put too much time into it, but after an hour or two, this is kind of what I came up with. But all right, let's jump right into a game I played on Pokemon TCG Online and see what we can do here with our Blastoise, Keldeo, Archie's Ace in the Hole deck. Gotta tell you, I'm excited, but at the same time, I am nervous that this is just going to be horrible. And right off the bat, my hand is, it's okay. If I don't know, it could be okay. I do take the mulligans there. That's a questionable move actually, given my hand. But I didn't know if there'd be any way to make sure what I was drawing was good. So whatever. I got Tails on the roller skates. And, if I would have had an Ultra Ball there, it could have been really good, but I didn't. So I'm just going to have to put down my two basics, put an energy down, and pass. You can see, even with all the stuff, maybe if I got heads on the roller skates, the Archie could have happened, but even with all those spots dedicated to getting the turn 1 Archie's ace in the hole, it just is not happening. It is just so tough to do. All right, so here, I open up with Execute, which was awful. You never want to start with that guy. He's supposed to be in your discard, and you hope that he does go to your discard immediately. Only 30 HP, poor guy. He's going to get picked on probably, but it's actually pretty painful when you cannot use him for propagation. He's just stuck in the active spot, stuck on your board all game. Oh well. I was close to being able to use Archie that turn, but it just was not meant to be. And let's see, just got to attach and pass the turn. My opponent was able to get a turn 1 Geomancy with Xerneas, get 2 Fairy Energy on the bench. Obviously, this is some kind of Fairy deck. And we do see a VS Seeker going for the N, only card in my opponent's discard pile. So we're going to see another N. And I think this hand is looking much better. I can definitely work with this. We already got a Blastoise in the discard pile, and we'll certainly be able to use that ace in the hole this turn. I'm going to hope I draw something I can just put into play immediately. Water Energy. Ugh. I can't play 2 Water Energy in a turn before Blastoise comes out, so that's a little bit painful. Now, let's see. So I just got to find a way to discard my whole hand. That's basically what this is coming down to. So I'm going to play Computer Search, and its main goal is just going to be to discard cards. I don't even really want anything. Let's see, what would I even want? There's no tool I can put down. Maintenance could backfire. There's nothing I want. I guess I could actually take an Ultra Ball to thin out more cards. I'm just going to play the Dive Ball and the Professor's Letter to burn them anyway. So why not just Ultra Ball? Right? We could do that instead. Alright, so we're going to Computer Search for Ultra Ball. And this is such a weird sequence of events here. So then I'm going to Dive Ball for a Suicune, just thin out cards in my deck. Ultra Ball, discard the Suicune. And we'll Ultra Ball for another Pokemon here. We'll grab a third Keldeo EX out of the deck. Attach energy and ace in the hole. Boom, here comes Blastoise. Now we still need a Water Energy to Secret Sword for a knockout here. Didn't get it. That is so annoying. Gonna maintenance and whiff the energy. Ugh. So after all of that, we got the Blastoise in play and didn't get an energy. How disappointing. Well, we do have Blastoise in play. We have 3 Keldeo. We have an Execute active that is just wishing to get knocked out. Just sitting there. Just 6 eggs hanging out, half a dozen. One of them's cracked open. That one's got to have a pretty sad life. But, alright, my opponent has a bunch of energy in play, but that's it. Just a couple Xerneas, a Spritzy, 6 energy in total. I'm going to assume this is probably a Mega Gardevoir deck at this point. We've seen nothing but Fairy energy. Could be a Mega Kangaskhan deck, with straight Fairy energy as well. So those are the 2 options I'm looking at here. Or maybe like a Florges deck, or even just one focused on Xerneas EX. I don't know. But if I had to guess, since the new set just came out, I would guess Mega Gardevoir. And there is the Pokemon Fan Club. We're going to see 2 basics come out, a Gardevoir and a Mewtwo. Alright, so yes, this is a Gardevoir deck. Mega Gardevoir, of course, has that brilliant arrow attack. 30 times the number of fairy energy you have in play. Can do brutal amounts of damage, one-hit knockouts all around once you get enough energy in play. So we're going to have to look out for that. Okay, so my opponent just moving some energy around, realizing now Blastoise is in play, so things could certainly get knocked out. Of course, Fairy Transfer allows you to move those energy around. And if I had to guess, we'll probably just see another Geomancy here. I don't think my opponent wants to retreat, first of all. That would be bad. No Fairy Garden in play. Don't want a Rainbow Spear and Execute when Xerneas is sure to go down. And yeah, we just see the Geomancy. It builds more energy into play. Seems pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to Ultra Ball here and just grab a Pokemon. I'm going to discard, draw 7 cards, and finally we got an energy. So we can go ahead and rush in with Keldeo EX and Secret Sword for 130 damage. Goodbye, Xerneas. And alright, it's a race. We're off to the races, folks. It's going to be down to one-hit knockouts from here on out, I think. Whoever gets the final blow in is going to win this one, I think. I mean, whoever sustains the most energy in play is going to get this game. You know, when you get enough time to set up, Blastoise is good. We missed the early ace in the hole. But, you know, now we got Blastoise going. We got Keldeo going. So it seems okay. We do see a Fairy Garden. So now my opponent is able to retreat freely between Pokemon. And I just want to point out I did top deck a Juniper on the last turn, but it would have been interesting if I had top decked something else. I could have Ultra Balled, put myself down to just an ace in the hole, and if I remember correctly, as long as it's your last card, you don't have to get the Water Pokemon back. You can draw 5. I don't know what the official ruling is yet. It seemed like judges were a little torn on that. But it would have been interesting to find out if you could have played Archie's ace in the hole when you have a full bench. I don't know. That's a good question. Not sure if it's been answered yet. But my opponent now has a bunch of EXs in play. And it looks like he's contemplating going for the big Mewtwo play. You know, the big X ball for the knockout. It would take 5 energy. And, you know, I'm really hoping my opponent goes for that. Because if you look, my prize was Mewtwo. And we can use Mewtwo's X-Ball to knock out my opponent's Mewtwo. And oh my goodness, he's doing it. He's moving the energy to the active spot. I don't blame him. This Keldeo could have gotten out of control pretty quickly. You know, I just need a couple more energy and I'm knocking out EXs. So, big move here. X-Ball for 180 and oh man. Now it's time for some Mewtwo Wars. Now, I do have an interesting decision here. I have the obvious Mewtwo X-Ball option. That's something I could certainly do right here. And if I do that, okay, I mean, I get a knockout. But one of the other things I can do, I'm going to take a look through my deck here. I have 6 water energy left in a pretty small deck. So what I could do is play the Superior, put 4 energy on Keldeo, and just hope to draw 2 more energy, and then Secret Sword for the knockout. And I need 6 total energy to hit for 170. So we get the full 4 back with the Superior Energy Retrieval. Which one do I want to go for? It's an easy 2 energy X-Ball or a 6 energy Secret Sword that I would have to draw 2 extra energy for. I think this is just too important to miss. Alright, if I knock out 5 energy from my opponent's board, they are in so much trouble. Their whole offensive firepower is pretty much gone. So I am fine with just playing it safe here. And you know, I drew 1 water. I had a couple roller skates and a maintenance. I probably draw a second one, but I certainly could have missed. And you know, if I missed that knockout right there, it would have been brutal. My opponent would have been left with 7 energy in play, Mega Gardevoir on the way. And you know, you just can't let that happen. Just got to go with the Mewtwo sometimes. X-Ball for the knockout. And what a huge turn of events. You know, we got the first knockout on that Xerneas. And then Mewtwo came out, knocked out my Keldeo with 4 energy, and my Mewtwo comes right back with an X-Ball for 2 energy. And, You know what? When there's not a lot of energy in play, Mega Gardevoir doesn't do a whole lot. If you have 3 energy in play, Brilliant Arrow does, what, 90 damage? That's not good. You need like 6 energy in play to start doing the big amounts of damage. So getting rid of the energy, 100% the correct play in that situation. Don't need to take the risk. We can just X-Ball. And we have enough energy left where I should be able to clean up with the big Keldeo knockouts from here. All right. Here comes the teammates. So I did get a knockout. My opponent will be allowed to search for any 2 cards here. Pretty good. And I'm sure there's a lot of options going on there. But you got to think my opponent maybe even is running out of energy at this point. Maybe 12 energy in that kind of a deck. Maybe a little more, but 5 of them hit the discard pile. A 6th hit the discard when I knocked out that first Xerneas. There's 2 in play. So that means there's 8 energy already gone, which means my opponent probably has like 4 left in the deck. Maybe 5. And that's just running thin at this point. You got to think, I don't know, what can they do at this point? And, just using Geomancy is the right thing to do. You get the extra energy in play, no doubt. But it's not even enough, right? I'll probably knock out the Xerneas as long as I can get 2 more energy onto my Keldeo next turn. I can Secret Sword for the knockout. And my opponent will just be left with the 3 energy on the bench, assuming there are 2 left in the deck. And there are. So, yeah, this is a really good situation. These fairy decks really have a hard time when you're able to knock out their Pokemon in one hit. That kind of ruins their entire strategy. And there we go, heads on the roller skates, and the double deluge onto the Keldeo EX. And now I got to think about maybe thinking about N potentially hitting me. So I think I'm actually going to play a maintenance. That's not a card I would like to draw off an N. It's just an ugly card to draw. It's not really a draw card by any means. So I'm going to get that out of my deck. And let's see. I have a roller skates I could play. Maybe if I hit heads, I could get some more water energy. Make it a little easier on me. And yes, indeed, heads on the skates. We're going skating tonight, folks. And there we go. Deluge 2 more. I think I'm going to hold 1 back just in case something weird could happen. You never know. Maybe this Keldeo gets knocked out by something. And then I want to have that energy just to be safe. And there's a Secret Sword for 170. Yeah, that's overkill. But at the same time, in case my opponent plays an N, I want to have the best odds of winning the game. So if my opponent plays an N and I draw a Lysander, I can bring out the Gardevoir on the bench, knock it out for the game. If I draw a Juniper or a VS Seeker, I can draw into my Superior Energy Retrieval, get back 2 energy, Secret Sword for 210, and win the game. Okay? I even have Jirachi now. I got that out of the prizes. So this is, you can see my entire hand, except for that 1 water energy, would be a win condition if my opponent plays an N and puts me at 2 cards. That's silly. That's 7 cards in my hand. And I don't know if there are actually even more in my deck still. But 7 win conditions left when you're drawing 2 cards and then a third off the draw for the turn. I like my odds. Let's just say that, folks. And this didn't start the best. We started off with the Execute. He's been the warrior, sitting there on the bench, standing his ground, defending our home turf the entire game. Those eggs, they're used to be in the discard pile, but today they stand tall on the battlefield, and nobody wanted to mess with them. And they are leading us to victory. They are, leading us in spirit. They are the captains out there leading the charge. Oh, man. And now Cammy is trying to bring the hammer down on my opponent, and we just see a brilliant arrow for 90 damage, and that means we can go ahead, play the Superior Energy Retrieval, get back those 2 water energy, and we're going to finish this one off with a bang, folks. Deluge 3 more times. Load that Keldeo up with all that juicy energy, and 230 damage, Secret Sword. Goodbye, Mega Gardevoir. And it looks like my last energy was even in the prizes, so whew, what a cool deck when it actually gets going, right? The Archie's ace in the hole. It's a little unreliable, but when you get good old Blastoise into play, everything feels good again. You get to play as much energy as you want, and it feels like we're back a couple of years ago. Blastoise and Keldeo back at it again. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll certainly have some more for you soon. I am Pooka from the Top Cut, and I'll see you guys next time.